My sister unplugged my heart monitor while I couldn't even sit up. 2 hours later, the cops walked her out of the ward. That was the moment I stopped pretending we were family. I woke up after a car crash with wires on my chest and a brace on my leg. My sister hovered by the bed like I was a broken device. My mom took the chair by the window and started scrolling. Neither of them asked if I was in pain. My sister leaned in and said, "This beeping is annoying." Then she smiled. "You've always faked being sick." After that, she grabbed the cord. Next, she yanked it hard again. Then the screen went black on me. After that, the room went dead quiet. Then my sister looked at me, satisfied. Next, my mom didn't even look up, and I couldn't lift my arm to stop it. The door hadn't latched. A nurse stepped in. She reconnected the line. Then she said, flat and calm, "You're not leaving. I've called the police. Act as money." My sister started talking fast, like volume could rewrite reality. "She's fine, look at her." My mom finally looked up and sighed like the nurse was the problem. About 10 minutes later, 2 officers came in. One asked if I felt safe. I didn't answer. I just stared at the empty space where the beeping had been. That silence said everything. When they escorted my sister and mom out, the door clicked shut and my chest finally loosened. Then the doctor came in and made it worse. While I'd been unconscious, my sister had tried to access my chart twice by claiming she was my emergency contact. When that failed, she told staff I was attention-seeking and didn't need pain meds. The hospital had it on camera. Timestamps, witness notes, my mom rolling her eyes behind nurses' backs. I didn't feel angry. I felt cold. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a routine. The next morning, my phone came back in a plastic bag, 32 missed calls, 17 voicemails. My sister's text swung between panic and rage. "Call me now before this gets worse. You're ruining everything." My mom kept it tidy. "Stop making this public. You're hurting the family." 2 days later, I got discharged. I didn't tell them when. They still showed up outside with flowers and a cheap get-well balloon. I rolled past them without a word. That night, my landlord left a voicemail. Someone claiming to be my sister had pushed for a copy of my key. When he asked for ID, she hung up. I didn't call her back. I called my bank. Years ago, I'd opened a joint account for my mom's surgery. It had been over $10,000 the last time I checked. Now, it was $800 and change. 2 transfers, spaced out like they knew the rules. $3,000, then $3,000 again. I closed the account and stripped my name off every old authorization I'd forgotten existed. I ordered security cameras and changed the locks. After midnight, my door took a heavy hit. Not a knock, a shoulder. My sister yelled my name. My mom stayed calm, telling me to be an adult and talk. On the live feed, I watched my sister pick up a brick and just hold it, like she was deciding how far she'd go. I called 911 and stayed quiet. The cops made them leave, but they sat across the street for almost an hour, watching. I called my aunt and uncle. They came with overnight bags. The next morning, my kitchen cabinet was wrecked and dishes were shattered on the floor. Then an email hit my inbox. Confirmation of beneficiary change. Someone had tried to swap my life insurance beneficiary from me to my mom. It failed because the signature didn't match, but the attempt was the point. My uncle called a lawyer. We pulled the hospital documentation, the police reports, the bank records, and the camera clips. Then he called the relatives who actually mattered and did the one thing my mom and sister couldn't survive. He cut off access. Trust frozen. Dividends stopped. Doors closed. They tried one last push at 845. My sister shoved inside like she owned the place. My mom waved a folder and accused me of poisoning the family. My uncle didn't yell. He stepped forward and said, "If you say one more word, I will cut you out of everything." Then he looked at me. "Do you want them here?" I said no. The restraining order went through. A week later, before sunrise, I packed one suitcase and moved to a small apartment 2 hours away. Quiet locks, no voices outside my door saying my name like they owned it. I still grieved the idea of a mother who protected me and a sister who didn't compete with me, but the fear finally stopped running my life. The silence that used to scare me started to feel like space, real space.